It's 6. We are just hours away from flipping the calendar to 2022. Celebrations about to get underway, but it could be tricky for your health. COVID running rampant right now. This morning, we have expert advice on how you can celebrate safely.
Plus, health officials sounding the alarm about boarding cruise ships, why they're now saying you should think twice before setting sail, even if you're vaccinated.
And it is New Year's Eve. We've got a lot to talk about, from some morning fog advisories to your evening plans. We've got it all covered here for you, plus some record high temperatures thrown into the mix as well. We're saying goodbye to 2021 this morning. CBS 12 News starts now.
You're watching CBS 12 News this morning.
Last alarm going off, last breakfast, last hour here of CBS 12 News this morning of 2021. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Sam Kerrigan in for Ashley Glass. This is it. We are down to the last 17 hours. But before we get to the celebrations, we do have some fog to get through this morning. We want to get back over to Zach with a look at our forecast.
All right. And new this hour, guys, good morning to you, by the way. New this hour, we now have a dense fog advisory for interior Palm Beach County. This is the same kind of thing we saw yesterday. We had the dense fog advisory for the Treasure Coast. An hour later, we got that dense fog advisory basically from 441 west. So that would include places like Belle Glade, Pahokee, and now parts of Wellington west of 441 that are now under a dense fog advisory. The only difference today is they don't match up with their expiration times. For the Treasure Coast, that dense fog advisory expiring at 9 o'clock. For inland Palm Beach County, that would expire at 10 o'clock. Now, we do have some fog starting to appear in Palm Beach County. You can see it's starting to creep its way eastward from Clewiston towards Belle Glade, towards Pahokee. Also, still have some patchy fog in the Lake Worth and Green Acres area, back out through, let's say, even Forest Hill. Then we're still dealing with some very dense fog from Fort Pierce to Stewart over towards Port St. Lucie. St. Lucie West, Tradition. So a reminder, when you come upon that fog this morning, please use those low beam headlights. You don't want the high beams. Trust me, you'll only be hurting yourself there, and to increase that stopping distance as well as slow down. So a yellow light this morning for that patchy to dense fog. I still believe the Treasure Coast is the ones, or are the ones that are most susceptible to the fog this morning. But again, if you work your way west of 441 in Palm Beach County, you could easily find that fog. Now, by this afternoon, we will have temperatures topping back up near record highs in many of our cities. We'll highlight which cities could set records today, how many records we could set through the new year, and when we will finally cool down, and what that storm system is doing just all across the nation. It's doing a lot, not only for Florida on Monday, but all across the nation. Breaking it all down this hour.
All right, Zach, thank you. And on this last morning here of 2021, the Omicron variant continues to spread all over the country.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is reporting nearly 1.9 million new cases this week alone.
That means 3 Americans are testing positive every second. Right now, 15 states, including Florida, are averaging more daily cases than ever. Florida broke another daily case record, reporting more than 58,000 cases yesterday.
And with New Year's now upon us, we can expect to continue seeing these long lines at testing sites in Palm Beach County even after the holiday weekend. A new COVID testing site south of the Wells Recreation Center in Riviera Beach ran smoothly yesterday, especially for people who got turned away from other testing sites. But the demand is still so high that even here the line was cut off 3 hours before closing. One family, though, that we spoke to turned the long hours of waiting into a fun experience.
I've been playing my Nintendo Switch for a whole time.
We brought our Switch, an Oculus, 4 phones, homework, a bag of treats, 4 bottles of water.
They were completely prepared for that long line. But as a reminder, testing sites in the county will be closed today and tomorrow for New Year's. They will reopen on Sunday.
And the rise in COVID cases in the state is driving the demand for testing.
And this morning, health experts are warning that COVID cases could even be higher next week after those New Year's celebrations.
So let's go now live to our Madeline Montgomery. She's in downtown West Palm Beach, where there'll be plenty of celebrating tonight. Maddie, how can people ring in the New Year safely?
Well, Maddie, the thing is, with this New Year's Eve, you may have thought because of the Omicron variant that maybe clubs and bars would shut down or at least not do their usual giant parties, but that is not the case. I looked at different event pages for Palm Beach County, Broward County, Miami-Dade, and it's pretty much all systems go. You can look at Clematis Street, which is a big party street here in West Palm Beach, and it is lit up. Looking at their events calendar, pretty much every club, every bar has a different event for New Year's Eve tonight, including the champagne and the cover fees and all kinds of exciting stuff, but that's not necessarily safe. In fact, I talked to a Boca Raton doctor who's saying you need to be doing outdoor events if you're really trying to be safe. So tonight, for example, Sandy Tree is doing a little light show. That would be a safe bet, or maybe going to a fireworks display. Those things are a little less risky opposed to going to a club, a bar, or a packed party. I spoke to Dr. Corey Harrow of West Boca Medical Center, who explains why.
Going to parties during this season, it presents a unique challenge, and especially in bars and clubs with loud music, you're going to have close conversation. And of course, with alcohol has been known to be associated with some poor decision making. You put that all together and you have a really challenging environment to prevent the spread of COVID.
Dr. Harrow knows people still want to celebrate, especially after the few years we've had during the coronavirus. So he says he gets it. And here are some things you can do to still at least try to be safe. He says take a rapid test if possible. You can still get them in different pharmacies, even at your primary care physician. You just need to ask, check ahead of time. Also, wear a mask when possible. So when you're in an especially crowded area, like when you're ordering your drink, things like that. And also, it's hard if you're seeing family or long lost friends, but skip the hugs, skip the handshakes. And you guys, this should be obvious. Maybe hard for some of you, but skip out on the kissing of strangers. That is the #1 way to go ahead and get Omicron, or just get any kind of germ because you don't know that person. And then also go somewhere quieter to talk, because obviously if it's really loud, you're going to be leaning really close to that person, and therefore swapping spit, swapping those germs, and that is not good. So again, go for an outdoor event if it is possible. I know tonight Sandy Tree is having a light show. It's going to start at 6 this evening, and then it is going until midnight to ring in the new year. So just one of the options out here in West Palm Beach. But for now, reporting in downtown West Palm Beach, I'm Madeline Montgomery for CBS 12 News, and Happy New Year's Eve.
Good stuff, Benny. Happy New Year's Eve to you. Now to a live look at Palm Beach International Airport. Nasty weather all over the nation, paired with some staffing shortages at airports and for airlines, fueling a new round of flight cancellations as we head into the weekend. JetBlue announced it's slashing nearly 1,300 flights over the next 2 weeks due to staff shortages. And Alaska Airlines is asking people with non-essential travel to postpone their trips until after New Year's Day. Let's check back in with Zach here for a look at what the forecast looks like for today for travel.
Yeah, when you look across the entire nation, right, it may not look like a massive kind of weather day, but it is. Out west, it is a 2-branch storm system. We've got an upper level low diving out of Canada right now into Idaho, and meanwhile a cutoff Baja low, and you can actually see the spin here just off of parts of San Diego and Tijuana, Mexico, that's pummeling rain, more reminiscent of a summer monsoon in the Pacific Southwest. It's going to be these two lows that merge over the Mountain West in Colorado and then work their way east, eventually cooling everybody off, including us in Florida, by Monday. Meanwhile, in the Northeast, a low-level cloud cover and fog, especially all along the I-95 corridor. From Boston, New York, Baltimore, and Washington, even Philadelphia this morning dealing with some fog despite temperatures being in the 40s. Now, right now, we're good to go in Philly. The airport just opening, allowing flights in and out, so no delays on the board there. But as we go into the I-95 corridor this afternoon, Philly, Boston, New York, low ceilings with that storm system moving out of Toronto and the Great Lakes and into I-95's Megapolis corridor. So those cities could be dealing with some moderate delays. Atlanta, LA, delays not likely. We're finally seeing weather improve there. By the way, in South Florida, we could be dealing with snowbird volume according to the FAA, so be ready for ground stops simply due to the volume of flights. Nearly 1,100 flights canceled this hour. That includes Palm Beach at nearly 30 and Fort Lauderdale at 70 canceled flights this morning. Please check with your carrier regardless of where you are flying to today. Could be waiting at the airport for quite some time.
All right, Zach, thank you. Good advice there. Now to a look at the Port of Miami at 6:09 on this Friday morning. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is raising the risk level for cruise ship travel to its highest level. The CDC says no one should take a cruise right now, regardless of vaccination status. This comes as the cruise industry is seeing an increase in cases on board ships. We spoke to one family just 24 hours after they returned home from their cruise out of Miami. Debbie Sanchez and her 11-year-old autistic son, who tested positive after being exposed, spent the last day of their cruise in quarantine. She says the cruise line, though, did everything it could to make them comfortable, even reimbursing them for the last day that they lost while in quarantine.
Would I go on a cruise right now? Probably not, especially after this experience. I don't want to poo-poo the cruise industry. They really are doing everything possible.
Now, if you do decide to go on a cruise, the CDC recommends you be fully vaccinated and have a booster shot.
And this morning, we are learning we could see a booster for kids in the coming days. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is expected to authorize Pfizer's booster shot for all 12 to 15-year-olds and for children 5 to 11 with compromised immunity by early next week. Right now, those 16 and older already have access to boosters. Studies show a booster significantly increases protection from the Omicron variant.
Well, this morning we're learning Miami-Dade schools are revising their COVID-19 protocols. Starting Monday, staff, visitors, and vendors and bus drivers will have to wear masks. Masks will also be required for people attending sporting events, but they will not be required for students, just strongly recommended. The Broward County School Board is expected to announce its revised protocols today. We have not yet, though, heard any changes from our local school districts.
6:11 next on CBS 12 News this morning. New body cam video showing the moment Florida deputies try to save a man from a tiger's grip at the Naples Zoo. You also hear his desperate 911 call for help.
And later, flames traveling the length of a football field in just seconds. The dangerous wildfire burning down hundreds of Colorado homes just ahead of the new year. We have new video this morning and what sparked these fires coming up next.
And before we head to break here, another look at the countdown to 2022. You're watching CBS 12 News this morning, the one to turn to.